LinkedIn has finally gotten into the puzzle game business. I thought this would be a great chance to learn them and play them, so let's learn them. If you're new to puzzling games, welcome. On this channel, I have how-to tutorials on card games, board games, video games, casino games, word games. I do crossword puzzle. I do Sudoku. And now it's time to try something new. A new puzzle from LinkedIn. Actually, there's 4 puzzles. Queens, Tango, Pinpoint, and Crossclimb. The New York Times, as you know, has Wordle and connections. It also has other things like the spelling bee and the tiles. I have videos on all of those. So subscribe, and as a thank you, I've got a picture for you. Yes, that is me. So let's start with Queens, which is my favorite one. So the goal of Queens is to put a queen's crown into exactly one of each row, column, and color, with none of them also touching each other. So it's a little bit of a mind sweep. It's a little bit of a Sudoku. There's only one right answer. You don't have to guess at all. It's a pure logic puzzle. Here's today's grid. The thing that strikes me immediately is that I know that since there's only one, it has to be here. So by doing that, the row and the column is crossed off, and also nothing can be around it, so nothing is going to come here. Just like with this here, nothing is going to come here, and nothing is going to come here. Since nothing is going to come here in the green area, and because this one's here and it blocks off the green area, the only option is this must be the green queen crown, which it is. And by doing so, I also see I have 2 over here. One, it cannot be in the same row, so therefore the queen for this white one will have to be here. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Ironically, we only need 2 left, which is here and here, the purple and the red. Well, it looks like the crown blocks that row, blocks that row, blocks that row. This one blocks that row. There's only one place this crown can be in purple. It's this one. We know that it has to go in the bottom row, and because of these crowns here, there really is only the option of this one here. Oh, is that it? Yeah, so this one really is the only one. And we did it. Okay, so here's the thing. That was too easy. The ones I've played were much harder than that. So, whatever. Let's play the next one. By the way, I just saw myself, and I probably should clean myself up a little bit better before I do on-camera videos. I look like crap. Sorry about that, folks. Let's play Tango. The way you play it is, there's suns and there's moons. No more than 2 suns or 2 moons can be next to each other, either vertically or horizontally. I guess that means it's okay diagonally. And each row and each column must contain the same number of suns and moons. Now, you'll notice in here that there's a equal sign and a multiplication sign. Well, cells separated by an equal sign must be the same sign as on the other side, whereas a cell separated by an X must be the opposite. So if there's a sun on the other side of the X, it must be a moon. And based on that logic of those 3 points, it's a logic puzzle, so let's try to go from there. I think to start is, since no more than 2 suns or moons can be next to each other, either horizontally or vertically, this must be a moon, and this must be a moon. I see there's an equal sign here, so that means this must be a moon. And since there's 2 moons, and you'll need to have a sun, that must be the sun right there. Next, you need to have an equal number of suns and moons in any column or row. So here's 3 moons with a sun, so these 2 must be suns. Whoops. And then now you have 2 suns here, and you can't have 3, so these have to be moons. Here's a moon and an equal sign, so that must be a moon. Here's 2 moons, so therefore that has to be a sun. And now 2 suns can't have 3 suns, so that has to be a moon. And now we have 3 moons, and there needs to be an equal amount of suns and moons, so that means this must be a sun. Since we can't have 3 suns together, between these 2 suns, we must have a moon. And again, equal amounts of suns and moons, so there's 3 moons here. This has to be a sun. Now let's come over to this row. 1 moon, 2 moon. We'll need to put the 3rd moon here. And since there's 2 moons next to each other, that means this must be a sun, and this must be a sun. And so now we have 2 moons here. There has to be a sun in between, and an equal amount of suns and moons, meaning that's a moon. And since 2 moons can only be together, not 3, that has to be a sun. And since there's an equal sign, that has to be another sun. And since there's a X here, that has to be a moon. And now that we have 3 suns here, that has to be a moon. That has to be a moon, which means that has to be a moon, which means this one here has to be a sun, which means this one has to be a moon. And finally, this one has to be a sun. So far, so good. Tango. Let's keep going to the next one, Pinpoint. So Pinpoint has 5 clues hidden on the board, and all 5 clues belong to a common category. The object is to guess the category in as few clue reveals as possible. Every time you make a guess, if you're correct, you win, I suppose, but if you're wrong, it'll then reveal the next clue. When I say categories, here's what I mean. Violin, guitar, kite, tennis racket, marionette. Things with strings. Let's go ahead and play today's Pinpoint. Clue number 1 is a target. Down the bottom here it says guess the category. So we're going to be guessing. If we're wrong, we get another one. Target. So I don't know anything. Target. How about a store? Target's a store. Nope. Nerve. Okay, so target and nerve. Target and nerve. How about something with quick reflexes? Things that have to do with reflexes. I don't know why. No. Drum. Oh, now it makes me think of ears. Maybe an eardrum. Maybe there's a nerve in your ear. I don't know what the target would be. So let me just think ears. No. Sweet spot. Okay, so now I'm thinking there's a sweet spot that you aim in the target and the drum and the nerve. The nerve is throwing me. A sweet spot. I'm going to guess bow and arrow. Nope. Nail on the head. Hit the nail on the head. The target. The sweet spot. You struck a nerve. Oh, things you struck. Things you can hit. Well, I think the struck was kind of it. I guess not really. Okay, well, that's how you play that one. So let's move ahead to the final game, Crossclimb. Crossclimb is a trivia ladder. You essentially need to guess the answer to each clue, and then you have to reorder the rows to form a word ladder. And you know what a word ladder is? It's a bunch of words, but each word is different by one letter. It's a word puzzle, this one. We don't know the top row and the bottom row, but there's a clue down here, and then somewhere in it, it's a word ladder, and then the word ladder is going to tell us a starting word and an ending word. So blank tire, an object kept in the car in case of sudden flat. Well, that's a spare tire. And here's the next clue. Like bread that's been left out for a while. Well, that's stale. And see, pile on top of each other. So I'm going to say it's stack. Look at intensely would be stare. Stem of a corn plant is stalk. And now arrange them in a word ladder to get, I guess, the order. So stack, S-T-A-C-K, S-T-A-L-K. Okay. Stare and spare. I see. So now they've been ordered in the order of the word ladder. So now the top and bottom rows, here's the clue. And again, it's one letter off from stack up here and one letter off from spare down there. The top and bottom rows. Something brought that represents ownership in a company and a particular unit of that purchased. Well, it's stock, S-T-O-C-K, because that is something bought that represents ownership in a company. And a particular unit of that purchase would be what goes down here, and it would be one letter away from spare, and a particular unit would be share, so it would be share, stock share, and there you go. In a way, a lot of these are easier, I think, than the New York Times puzzles that they have in the New York Times app, but if you are somebody that is spending a lot of time on LinkedIn and you need like a 5-minute little mental puzzle game break, I suppose this is pretty good. But kudos to LinkedIn for doing this. By the way, if you haven't subscribed, please do. If you want to check out my Wordle puzzles, my connections puzzles, my Sudoku puzzles, hope you check it all out. Have a great day.